From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A pleasant evening. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Vinipurarachi, and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
A mobile program to inoculate vaccines for senior citizens and persons with special needs. Love's gas prices increase. Litro gas prices remain unchanged. New radio channel dedicated for education of school children from next Monday. The Cabinet Subcommittee appointed to resolve teacher-principal salary anomalies convened for the first time. The first Kumbal Perahara of the Kandy Esela Festival begins tomorrow. Taliban seizes control of 10 provinces in Afghanistan.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. The mobile vaccination program to provide vaccines for senior citizens and persons with special needs who have yet to receive a vaccine in the Western Province was commenced today. The program was initiated from the Army headquarters in Sri Javardhanapura. 10 special mobile vehicles with medical teams from the Sri Lanka Army Medical Corps have been deployed under the supervision of the Sri Lanka Army Preventive Medicine and Mental Health Director Board. One mobile vaccination vehicle has been allocated to cover Dematagoda and Mattakule areas. 3 vaccination vehicles covering Modara and Grand Pass areas and 2 vaccination vehicles have been allocated to cover Blue Mandal area today. Persons who are in need to receive the vaccine through this program can register with the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak via 0112 860-002 or 1906 hotline. A vaccination program to inoculate persons about 30 years of age who are yet to receive the vaccine in Colombo City was held at Community Centre in Mihijaya Sevana, Randiya Uyana, Modara today. It was held with the assistance of Sri Lanka Police and health authorities. A 105-year-old resident in Malavita area, Kegol, received the COVID-19 vaccine today. The officers attached to Kegol District's Health Services Director's Office have visited these residents to receive the vaccine. The vaccination program was conducted at 263 centres covering 22 districts in the country. 15,310,726 doses of vaccines have been inoculated under the COVID-19 immunization program thus far. In the last 7 days, 2,022,229 doses of vaccines have been delivered to the people. The percentage of people receiving at least one dose of a vaccine of the population more than 30 years of age has increased beyond 100. The Gazette notification to announce the minimum test fee to be charged for a PCR test at 6,500 rupees and fee to be charged for rapid antigen test at 2,000 rupees was issued today. Accordingly, medical laboratories in hospitals or laboratory centres should act in accordance with the new Gazette notification. It has further indicated that no other direct or indirect charges should be levied beyond the maximum rate as mentioned in the notification, which will come to effect from today. The new rates were decided as a result of a discussion held between Minister Pavitra Wanyarachi and State Minister Lasantha Lagiyawanna, and any complaints in this regard can be informed via 1977 hotline. Minister Janaka Bandarathenakon has said that steps have been taken to provide the financial provisions allocated for the cremation of those who had died from COVID-19 through the local government institutions without charging from the respective families will be provided through the central government. The minister made these remarks during a media held with the heads of local government institutions on Zoom, held with web conference in technology over the cremation and burial of those who had died due to COVID-19. The minister inquired on the problematic condition related to the cremation of the deceased as indicated through several media reports. The heads of institutions said that several crematoriums have faced with various problematic situations in this regard. They further said that several crematoriums belonging to local government require urgent maintenance needs due to the sheer number of cremations carried out at these establishments. These have also pointed out of the shortages related to gas and labour. The minister said that the government has taken steps to provide gas for all crematoriums on free of charge, and steps will be taken to deploy new recruits as a solution solution of labour shortage. Director of National Blood Bank said that blood reserves at the central have continued to deplete in the last 7 days. Therefore, he requested the public to donate blood to maintain the reserve. An appointment can be taken to make donations via 0115 332 153 or 0115 332 154. 2,420 COVID-19 patients were detected from the country today. Meanwhile, 2,049 patients left the hospital today following complete recovery.
Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemanta Herath made remarks over the oxygen reserves in the hospitals as well as in the country at present. He made these comments while speaking at a media briefing today.
There are concerns about the oxygen capacity of the country. As you all know, the number of or proportion of patients who require the oxygen as a treatment has gradually gone up, and probably it will go up in the future also. Therefore, the Ministry of Health has taken every possible steps to cater this increasing demand, for which they are maximally utilizing the current local capacity to produce the oxygen. And in addition to that, the government has already taken steps to import oxygen from different countries at a reasonably high cost comparatively, because compared to the production in Sri Lanka, importation is always costly, and despite that we are importing oxygen. And also we have already established several other alternative systems to produce oxygens independent of this mass scale production. Several hospitals have been given with oxygen generators, and this has reduced the demand, especially in the periphery where long distance transportation of oxygen cylinders is becoming a problem. And also several large hospitals have been given with large oxygen tanks in which huge amount of oxygen can be stored at a given time. So that also will provide some kind of breathing space to reduce the effects of transportation. And also we have imported a large number of oxygen cylinders, both ordinary cylinders as well as the large so-called jumbo cylinders. And these cylinders are also distributed all over the country, and we are using them to provide oxygen to the needy patients. Further to that, we are also using the oxygen concentrators, large-scale concentrators plus bedside concentrators, to give oxygen to needy patients depending on the clinical decision of the different doctors who are treating those patients. By doing so far we have been able to cater the oxygen demand that is created in the country.
And meanwhile, police media spokesman senior DIG Ajit Rohana says that police have taken 94 persons into custody during the last 24 hours for violating quarantine regulations. Accordingly, a total of 54,036 persons have been arrested thus far for such violations.
94 persons have been arrested in connection with the offences of quarantine rules and regulations within a period of last 24 hours. Total number of 54,036 persons have been arrested in connection with the same offences since the 30th of October 2020 to date. In addition to that, we are going to implement the provincial restriction order strictly at the entry and exit points of provinces. Yesterday, 56 persons have been arrested along with 21 vehicles who were trying to cross the provincial border by violating the provincial restriction order. We are conducting further operations, and we have strengthened our roadblocks from today along with the members of tri-forces, and we are going to cover all roads, thoroughfares, highways in all entry and exit points of each province. So therefore, no one is allowed to cross provincial borders unless the members of essential services, and the provincial restriction order is implemented strictly from today. So therefore, general public are kindly requested to not to violate the provincial restriction order.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has granted approval to increase the price of Lav's 12.5 kg domestic gas cylinder by 363 rupees and 5 kg domestic gas cylinder by 145 rupees. However, it was revealed at the media briefing held at the Trade Ministry today that the price rates of the litro gas products will not be changed. Accordingly, the Consumer Affairs Authority has permitted for the sale of Love's 12.5 kg domestic gas cylinder, which was priced at 1,490 rupees at a price of 1,856 rupees, and a 5 kg domestic gas cylinder, which was priced at 598 rupees at a price of 743 rupees from tomorrow. However, the ministry is present at the media briefing said that the price rates of litro gas products used by over 80% of the consumers will not be changed. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that gas companies have requested to increase the gas prices for the last 6 months period. He said if the government had consented for a price hike without considering the consumers, then a gas shortage would not have taken place in the country. He said that the gas companies continue to sustain massive losses in distributing gas cylinders without pressurizing the consumers. The minister said that the private sector is unable to continue to bear the losses when compared with the existing price rates in the global market. He said that milk powder prices rates have faced with the same circumstance. The minister said that following the increase of foreign exchange, the milk powder rates have also increased. However, he said that the country will not experience a shortage in milk powder. He said that the present crisis over the commodities have occurred due to the inability to change the price rates suitable for the markets in order to provide reliefs for the public. The minister further said the way the government can contribute to resolve this issue is by reducing the taxes imposed on these commodities. He said that the taxes on essential commodities have been reduced to the maximum levels. However, the Minister of Finance has reduced the taxes on milk powder even further in order to face a potential shortage. The Cabinet of Ministers has decided to vest the power with Minister Uday Gammanpillai to commence a new company affiliated to the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and issue LP gas products to the market. Accordingly, the proposed new company will also be able to provide LP gas to the market under competitive rates following its establishment.
The Cabinet Subcommittee appointed to present recommendations to resolve teacher-principal salary anomalies convened for the first time in Colombo this morning. The relevant Cabinet Subcommittee was appointed by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Meanwhile, a satyagraha was conducted at the Independence Square this evening demanding to provide solutions for teacher-principal issues. The protesters alleged that the Cabinet Subcommittee appointed by the President is yet to convene to find solutions for their issues. The Cabinet Subcommittee, speaking thereafter first meeting today, said that relevant recommendations to resolve the teacher-principal issues will be presented in accordance to the decisions of the Cabinet of Ministers. Ministers Dallas Alhapperuma, Vimal Viramansa, Mahinda Bravira and Prasanna Ranatunga are members of the Cabinet Subcommittee. The World Elephant Day falls today. The theme of the World Elephant Day is "This is the best time to inquire into and know about the protection and conservation of amazing animals." The main goal and mission of the day is to distribute creative knowledge for raising awareness regarding good solutions for the protection and management of elephants. August 12th is dedicated to the preservation and protection of world's elephants. First celebrated in the year 2012, the World Elephant Day was officially founded by Canadian filmmakers Patricia Sims and Michael Clark and Elephant Reintroduction Foundation in Thailand. The goal of the day is to create awareness of the urgent plight of African and Asian elephants and to share knowledge and positive solutions for better care and management of captive and wild elephants. Asian elephants have been divided into several species, and these species can be found in several Asian countries including Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Indonesia and Thailand. The wild elephants have faced with various issues concerning their existence, from illegal poaching for ivory and habitat losses due to the deforestation and other human activities. The attention has been directed to improve policies for setting up laws to empower the prevention of illegal poaching and ivory trade, conservation of elephant habitats and conservation of protective sanctuary. Many organizations for elephants conservation are currently engaging in realizing these solutions. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has issued a special message to mark the World Elephant Day. The Prime Minister has said that the government stands up for the protection of elephants and their conservation. He has further said that the elephants are the largest animals living on Earth and are loved and respected by people and cultures worldwide. The present government has taken various actions to resolve the human-elephant conflict, which is a topic of interest within Sri Lanka, he added. The Prime Minister further said that during this era, when there is a threat of extinction of elephants, it is a responsibility of the government to protect the elephants.
The Tusker Nadungamu Raja, who works continuously for several days to take part in the Perahara festival, reached Kandy today. The Tusker expected to take part in the Perahara festival following a 3-year gap. The Tusker Nadungamu Raja walks for several days to reach Kandy each year since 2005 to take part in the Perahara festival. The Tusker rests at several resting places in his journey, which takes about 1 week to reach Kandy. Nadungamu Raja reached Kandy amidst a strict protection provided by the Special Task Force of the Sri Lanka Police. Following his final stop at the resting place in Pilimatalawa area yesterday, the Tusker resumed his journey to Kandy this morning. After arriving to Kandy, Nadungamu Raja visited the Sri Dalada Maligava to invoke blessings. The Tusker received a warm welcome as he entered the Sri Dalada Maligava premises. 4 Tuskers eligible to bear the sacred casket, including Nadungamu Raja, will participate in this year's Perahara. The Tusker Vasana of Ruhunu Mahakatragama Devalaya, which is similar to Nadungamu Raja, has already arrived in Kandy to take part in the procession. The Tusker Indiraja belonging to the Sri Dalada Maligava has also gained eligibility to bear the sacred casket as well. The Tusker will take part in the procession set to begin tomorrow. The Tusker Singharaja is also eligible to fulfill the duty of parading the sacred casket at the Perahara. The Tusker belonging to the Sri Dalada Maligava has paraded the sacred casket for several years. Takes place following the cup planting ceremony of Siv Mahadevalayas of the Kandy Perahara festival will conclude tonight. The internal procession was held continuously for 5 days. Meanwhile, the first Kumbal Perahara of the Perahara festival will parade the streets from tomorrow.
The government has taken steps to initiate a full-time educational radio channel to uplift the education of the children in the country. Under the instructions of Minister Kehalia Rambukwala, the new educational radio channel will commence from next Monday. This was revealed at a discussion held at the Government Information Department premises today. Minister Professor G.A. Pires and Kehalia Rambukwala and State Minister Susil Premjanta, P.L. Nishanta, Sita Arabepolo were present for this discussion. A new Vision FM educational radio channel will broadcast on 102.1 and 102.3 frequencies of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The channel will operate for a period of 20 hours from 4 a.m. until 12 p.m. each day. Accordingly, 65% of the airtime has been allocated for subject-based educational streams and 35% has been reserved for non-educational subject streams. Sri Lanka Telecom revealed that 6 educational channels will be introduced during the next week through Pure TV services. The committee headed by State Minister Susil Premjanta will convene tomorrow to expedite the initiation of this program. Attention has been directed to utilize satellite technology for areas deprived of telecom coverage. 20 educational channels are expected to be initiated under the program and 6 channels will be initiated as pilot projects. Minister Kehalia Rambukwala said that many electronic media channels have extended a positive support for the education of children thus far. Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media, Jagat P. Vijayveera, Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Pereira, Chairman of Sri Lanka Telecom, Rohan Fernando, were present at the occasion.
Today is the International Youth Day. The purpose of this day is to draw global attention to give a set of cultural and legal issues surrounding the youth. The International Youth Day is observed annually on August 12th. This day offers an opportunity for governments and others to look into youth issues worldwide. The International Youth Day was designated by the United Nations in 1993 based on a request made to the United Nations General Assembly by the Global Summit of World Youth Ministers held in Lisbon. This year's theme is Transforming Food Systems, Youth Innovations for Human and Planetary Health. Minister Namal Rajapaksa has issued a message in celebration of the International Youth Day while drawing the attention of the global community on the value of youth. The minister has commended this year's theme for the International Youth Day, which emphasizes on the youth contribution to create a future healthy human being at a time when the entire world has been affected from the COVID-19 outbreak. The statement has further indicated that the present government has been privileged in improving youth-related education, entrepreneurship and innovation by integrating youth and sports subjects. And the Bank of Ceylon celebrated the 82nd anniversary today. A ceremony in celebration of the anniversary was held at the head office of the Bank of Ceylon while adhering to strict health protective guidelines. Bank of Ceylon was founded in 1939 with Sir Ernest de Silva and its first chairman. The Bank of Ceylon took measures in extending loan assistance worth over 250 billion rupees to its clients who have been affected from the second wave of the COVID-19 outbreak. Financial provisions worth 550 billion rupees was extended to the clients affected from the first wave of the COVID-19 outbreak. Under the Prosperity Working Capital Loan Scheme, over 39 billion rupees have been extended for more than 18,000 local entrepreneurs. The Bank of Ceylon has also taken steps to commence the COVID-19 Domestic Health Service Centre today. This initiative expected to provide relief for persons affected from the COVID-19 outbreak. Stay tuned for international news after this break. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Do it just tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night.